a long time ago, in a land far, far away.
Hey everybody, we're here today with Ford Fastback Mustang. It's a C code, which is a 289 2-barrel. It's also a 3-speed car. We bought this many months ago. We drove really far to get this car. It was not what it was supposed to be. Ended up getting a deal done anyways. This car is super rusty. And the thing with these cars is when I sell them, a lot of times they're rebodied or they buy a brand new body. Every panel on this car is going to need replaced for the most part. Like even the fenders, like this looked good in the photos, but if I get out of there, that's a whole patch. This whole fender is a patch. Floors are gone. The interior sheet metal's rotted up to here. Needs a trunk pan, needs a floor pan. The roof section's good, the firewall's good. It literally needs everything else except the hood. Trunk lid's okay, a lot of sheet metal, but it came with 3 interiors. I have the motor and transmission. The rear axle is currently crank strapped in place, and that's part of the reason we're gonna load it on the trailer because I can't even move it with the Bobcat, it's so soft. In this video, I hear it straight from the horse's mouth, Clay has been instructed to make this thing able to be moved around, right? Trailerable. We're not gonna put the right floor pans in it. I'm not going to put rockers in it. I'm not putting quarters on it. Nothing. So whatever ridiculousness you see him doing to this is just to get it to move into a shipping container to go to Germany or Sweden or stay stateside or whatever. We're just going to scab a bunch of extra metal from our driveway onto this thing so it can be winched on, pushed on, pulled on, strapped down, held together. Ideally, I need to get the motor and transmission back in this car and the interior in it so that I can sell it. We're not going to do, like, you can't just throw a floor pan in a car that's this bad. This car needs completely disassembled. The body needs dipped. So we're not going to do that. I'd be doing a disservice to whoever's going to buy it if I try and scab in a floor pan right now. It doesn't make any sense to do that at all. So that's why Clay's going to do what he's about to do. I wanted to clarify that so we don't have a bunch of people in the comments like, what kind of hack job stuff is this? Very intentional. Purely just to get it to move and not fall apart. I think this car was candy apple red. Is that what we determined it was to begin with? Or is it blue? Pretty plain Jane though. I mean, the 3-speed part of it was cool. 289 2-barrel 3-speed. Still has an incredible value even when they're rusty. We love these cars. So we're gonna get this thing all bolted together. The doors are just crank strapped on right now. I have tons of extra fastback parts inside, so let's get this thing on the trailer. We're gonna move it to Safeway. We're gonna load it on the Max D trailer real quick. Tote it in there with the Bobcat, get it dumped on the rack. That way Clay can lift the body up and start trying to get that rear axle set in place. So I got a real busy day, so we're gonna get on it right now. So the Max D trailers, right? So these are our favorites. They are a sponsor of ours. They weren't until I already owned this trailer, right? And then they reached out to me, and I love this thing. We get these T8Xs and power up and down. So right now this trailer's terribly tail loaded. This thing is like maybe 600-700 pounds of tongue weight to begin with. There's probably, I don't know, 1,200 or so in the tail. Look at this. I'm just pulling it down. we can also do with these trailers is, you know, I've shot the tail of this trailer underneath a truck that was in the ground and literally pulled down on the deck and lifted the truck up out of the ground. Power up, down. One of the only people that do it. A lot of these trailers with other brands are power up, gravity down. As soon as you get your machine on them, they'll come down. But I had them build this one, power up, down, just so we can do all this goofiness with my old cars. Can't go slow with this, so this hauler is gonna hit something. This was honestly, you know, I've been doing this for 10 years. I had my Papsold trailer, which I thought was the greatest. And then I always said, as soon as I can get a full deck tilt, I was buying one. And I remember this trailer was really expensive for the business at the time. And I'm like, well, I need it. So I bought this thing. There was no turning back. I was so happy with it. This thing has done so much work and made life so much easier. I wouldn't ever go without it now. And I can see that a lot of my buddies have them now too, because these are just amazing for the antique car stuff. All right, bring her back up. All right, she's on the rack, so let's just give her a I'll block it right here.
You're good. I'm just look now, then go will go from there. That's the first step.
You scratched it.
I know, it was just hanging there like that.
You see him scratch my car? That was not going to be easy. Now I get 32 for my meeting. What I was trying not to do.
I'll get this in.
Yeah,
We'll unload from this side. There might be something pinching it.
you can make a pile behind his car, like not the parts that stay with it. Anything like the quarters that are in here, like any sheet metal you're not going to need, just put it in front of the orange car, and then we'll bring the S10 or something later, and or that's not here. We'll use something to get all the sheet metal across the street. We'll bring the trailer back down or something and just load it.
Okay.
Yeah, the glass just sit on the roof of this. All the sheet metal make a pile.
We'll have to make something here and get this to go back down if we're going to use a leaf.
This car's not even good enough. My old trick was when this tail bar is good enough, get a piece of 2x12 in there and then just let the leaf spring fight the 2x12. But this car's not even solid enough to do that.
No. So this one's about to do the same thing.
Right. Yeah, we just got to get this leaf spring has to get kicked back down somehow. I'd lift the body up, you know
That's
what I
what I
mean?
wanna do.
Let the leaf drop and then try and use wood. And don't feel like you have to make this like super duper. It just needs to, the axle needs to stay square to get it on a trailer and winch it, pull it.
So it's not crab walking.
Yeah, so it's not crab walking. Because we can't get this thing into a container. I can't even send it to a port this in this kind of shape. They'll be calling me like, the axle fell out of it, we can't get it in the container.
We're just going to get all this stuff out of here so then we can kind of assess the situation.
It's not impossible.
This dude has the floorboard pieces. No, he just got metal in. Man, why would he do that? That weren't even the right floor pans for this he put in here. Probably just to hold it together, I guess. Let me go grab a pry bar. We're just going to help it. I might need you to hold the front part of the door for me, so try to hold the front part of this for me, please. So, alright, we might have to get that front back up in place. Or I think I can get this from the inside. Out of my way. And I can see what's going on. Thank you. I know a way to get it off though. It involves a torch. Just front forward. Yep.
I got it.
There you go. Might have to put something over there. And the back across looks pretty good. Because I think we're going to base our rear end off of somewhere in there. We're probably just going to bring a couple pieces of metal down. We're just going to go from like right here up to here. We'll probably use the front part of the leaf spring and then go upward and then weld it, the leaf spring to the rear end. Actually, we'll just start taking this up. Center pin should still be there. Not, hopefully it's not broken. No, there is no center pins. So, all right. Well, we're going to attempt. I have nowhere to push off of, Shane. That's decently solid. Let's see if I can get to it. We need the long ones. This is going to be important. This is why I want the back to hang over. I bring this up a ways. Okay, now we need to get this rear end all loose. We're going to try to get this leaf spring welded on this rear end, probably like right where the perches are, but at the same length. Like probably just going to, you know, measure from here to there. Once we see where the center pin falls, then, you know, we'll get these U-bolts out of here, weld that to there, and weld something kind of probably on an angle towards this way that welds to the top right where the perch is. We'll tie in where like the metal's the strongest, like probably like right in here, whatever way it falls, pretty much, just to hold it in place. New one? It is a new one. Okay, so our rear end's all we're broke right up here, so that is going to have to be patched so then we can put our thing for the rear end in. There's a little bit of stuff to do to make this actually work like decently. I gotta do one more strap yet, but yeah, it's gonna be fun. We kind of have to go higher, which is really hard to do. Get light. Okay, now what we need to do is okay. So that's just water, it'll be alright. What we gotta do is get this to slide over as I'm holding it upward. See how it's beside this? It needs to be where this hole is. This rear end actually goes on top.
On top of the leaf springs, not underneath of them.
Pretty sure. Well, no, we're just going to put it on the bottom. What we'll do is we're going to get this in place right where these are. I'll weld the rear end to the leaves, then we'll bring something down to support the leaf. And that way if they go through the floor, it'll make them not able to go through the floor anymore because it'll bottom out. Unless something breaks right there, that's about most of what I would do to it. I'll give you okay, it gives us something decent to weld to for the most part. Okay, that should be okay. That gets us in place and welded somewhat. Then I'll have to touch up the backside with this a little bit. We'll get that. This is going to be a pain because we got to move this rear end over. Okay, it's going. Hold on. Get this lined up with the pin. I need to let this car down some. I need to get it underneath the pumpkin part of the rear end. That pumpkin so it don't move. Look at this. Okay, now what I'm going to do is air it up till it touches, and I'll pull the welder over, weld this one, because this one has that dowel, the other one don't. Okay, yep, go ahead, keep going. Okay, 1 sec. Keep going. You're good. Okay, now we need to bring this car down the here. Got some tension here. That means once we weld this one, we're going to have to shove over some. So I'm going to get this welded. Okay, I'm going to put a weld over here before we start moving anything. Pry bar. Yes. Just take it right like so. Yep. Can you hold that like that?
Yep. Got it.
Alright. 1 sec.
There we go.
That'll work. Here, let go. Ain't go nowhere. It should be pretty strong. They have wild and real hot, so we'll get all this stuff out of here. Okay, that's not bad. We didn't do bad. Yeah, this rear end definitely goes on top of them leaves. But look where this is all going. Look how this is against there. We're going to be okay like that, I think. We're going to put something up just in case. But, you know, as for what we're going for, this is going to be just fine. Gonna creak and make a whole ton of noises now because it's kind of where it's supposed to be. From like here to like back in there. This here, you know, we'll replace that so then we can set the motor in it without it breaking in half.
Support bracket, huh?
Pretty much. There it is. I could take up probably like half and half like that. It's about perfect. Well, that's figures. It is. That'll work for what it is. I'm gonna get a new cup of coffee and actually enjoy it this time. I screwed you there. Stiff. Now we gotta take this out. We're gonna have to touch up in there too, but get the chunk off of there. Clean up some spots around here, connect it back in. That way you got some kind of structure. You said you might have these front pieces. If so, we can put a motor in. Because it won't take much to scab them.
I don't think I have them. I don't know. Well, I can go look. I don't think I have those. They're easy to get. I just don't know if it's worth doing. It might be. I mean, they're cheap. You can look them up. I won't buy them from CJ Pony. I'll buy them from anybody else though. If you look on Rock Auto, they have a lot of the Dynacorn stuff. That's what you want to get. That's made in Pittsburgh.
It's kind of going to overlap back here. So when we pull that up, we need to make a mark where it's sitting. I'm just marking where I want that to be perfect. to go around with it. Then it'll change the color. We have timing cover for this. We'll get this all cleaned up around here.
They look so much better with the back of the piece on.
And plus this was all bent out and stuff. I fixed this. I'm about to cut this free, I think, and lift this back end up some. Well, let's see how it looks in there. Them seats might be in the right place. Okay. Since that one's loose over there, we're gonna pull it out and bolt it to the seat first. Then we're gonna set it in and just tack it in place real nice. As soon as I put that support back there, we're gonna be okay to do whatever with this. We're still gonna add something in to this area, probably just a piece from like here to here, and tie that in to where it's at a structure point. So then whenever the motor's in this and it starts all vibrating and stuff, it's held together for the most part, and it's not just going to vibrate apart. Salad Lake is in pretty much the same spot as that other one.
Yeah, was there like a rust line where you could like see
Kinda,
what was
yeah.
sitting before? Yeah.
I did a little more welding than I wanted to, just because like that's a little thin there, so I put a little more. So, you know, if someone sits in it or something, they're just not falling through the floor or something. Welded solid all the way around. It's just right here was a little thin on this tunnel, so I kind of just, where it blew through, I kind of just kept zapping it. And, well, I'm all hooked on this. There it is. It's uniform. It looks the same. Now we need to... Will you help hold this down and in place for me? Just want to get some tacks on this. Okay. pretty good. We're going to put this square in, and then we're going to put this section in. You know, we're going to make this little piece, but it's going to have to be 2 pieces. I might do this piece too, depending on how much metal I got, but to put that seat in here and have it look right, this is what needs to be done. You know, that's what the boss wants, so that's what we're going to do. 13.5 by a foot. It's going to go like so. Spray some blue on it so it looks nice. We're going to put the timing cover on. But we got some Loctite, you know, to put on the seal before we put it on, and we'll put a couple coats on this before we bolt it. We're going to take all this excess stuff out of here, coat of paint on everything, and bottom. I'm gonna do the sides and stuff. You can call up, not Pet Boys, but
Riley?
yeah.
What you need?
I need some black engine paint, and I need some old Ford Blue DE 1621. It's DE 1621. It's called Old Ford Blue. We'll clean them off. More snug. I'm just going to clean up a little bit now. Alright, so what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to strengthen all this up, because it's all rotted out. I'm just going to pretty much wrap it in sheet metal that's thicker than what was there already, and thicker than what it is from the factory, so it's going to be just as strong. We're going to do that so it can hold the engine, and the engine could run in it and the car not fall apart. So that's pretty much all we're doing, is making it pretty much as complete as possible.
So our comments aren't all messed up. This is obviously not how you fix a car, right? This is not how you restore a Mustang. We're not trying to restore this car. All I'm trying to do is get that motor in this car without breaking the car in half. That's why Clay's doing what he's doing. He's working with scrap metal out of the shop. This is not a permanent thing. It's not meant to be that. We're not going to tell anybody that we fixed the frame rails. I'm going to tell everybody we beefed up the frame rails so the motor could stay in the car, because almost all my Mustangs go overseas and there's a bumpy ride in a container. And what we don't want is the car to break in half, so when they go to unload it in Germany, they're calling me like, yo, what happened here? So we're beefing it up because it's almost guaranteed this car is going to end up overseas. They pretty much all do. So again, don't tell us we're hacks and that's not how it's supposed to be done. We weren't going to buy brand new sheet metal for hundreds of dollars to put front frame rails in this thing when it needs floors, quarters, rockers, tubs. Like, this car needs it all. So this is just the scab. Clay has no time into this. It's purely just beef it up so it holds the motor and transmission. That's it.
Somewhere good to sit this. and make it start up. With this starter. I don't have any way to spin it because the balancer's not here. I'd have to lift the engine up to spin it. I bet you the starter's no f***ing good, dude. I went through all that. I got a bad fucking starter. I'm pissed. I got power to the points. I got power everywhere. Fucking take this junk off. Yeah, it ain't. This starter's junk.
Shane, is that what you wanted to tell me was the starter?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just figured he'd be able to explain it better than I would be.
No,
I
that's-
didn't want to
That's okay.
ask you twice.
No. Lady on Monday.
Okay,
I'll tell her to take it over to Pete.
okay, that's fine. Yeah, because we didn't know if you might have taken it or if it was placed here somewhere and we just didn't know where the hell we put it.
Yeah, I could have swore that.
No, Joe said, he said, I don't need this shit, He said, just go ahead and take it. He said, it's in the way here. And I said, okay.
I should get a socket for that.
This week.
Sweet. That'd be cool. Anything fun? Well, I hate to drive all the way up there for a micro car, but it's looking like we might just drive up there for a micro car.
Off for quite a while. Ground. What we gotta, I figured out how to do it. So, what you do is to bypass the solenoid, you have to hook to the negative, put your positive here, you don't have to use the pry bar. You have to kind of pull the cover off the starter and stuff, but you use a pry bar, push here, engage it, and it works. So, that's that. This engine's ran not very long ago. And transmission fluid will seal up the rings a little better than oil does. Add some more power. Yeah, I only use some. I want to see what this is looking like in here. Here's something I don't like. And if that's the case, we just wasted a lot of time on this. Yeah, look, hold on. I think I'm trying to get to it. See that mark on the piston?
Mm-hmm.
That valve's touching right there. Yeah, that looks like that valve's hitting, so we need a good battery, man. I don't understand what happened to all these batteries. So I can't hold 12 volts for long enough. Really, I need to bring a car or an S10 over, put it on jumper cables and just leave it. Them two valves are bent. Now they're sticking down real far hitting the piston. You gotta hear it hit every time it goes up. We got two bent valves on this head. Where'd Pete just go? Yep, this cylinder here has bent valves. bent valves. That's why I pulled the cover off. And took it and put it on another one. And didn't use that. Got bad news.
Yeah, I heard.
Bent valves.
How many?
2. Well, this is the cylinder. You can see where they're kissing the piston. My guess is they over revved it and stretched the timing chain and bent valves. You know how when they first started them up, they revved the hell out of them? I think that's what that guy did. And he was like, oh, it runs. We got low compression too. Like 50 pounds all the way across both sides. Besides this cylinder, it ain't got nothing.
Yeah, see, we should have did a compression test before we went in and doing all this other shit, painting it, getting a car.
Well, we
part.
assumed it ran.
I just said that it turned. It turns now.
You still want to put it in?
Yeah. Yep.
Well,
Yep, yep, yep. I'm ready to go. Well, there's multiple miscommunications on this thing. The guy bought it from us and it ran. He popped the timing chain cover off of it for another 289 that he had. I brought it in here, said I was told this motor runs or turns or whatever. Got a little ahead of ourselves. I'm putting it together. Clay got a starter on it we got from my father-in-law and got bent valves. So it still turns. Still the original motor and transmission to this car. And anybody who restores this is going to go through this again anyways. So it's good that it's not locked up. We don't have broke piston, wrist pins, any kind of, I don't think we have any cylinder wall damage because it turns, but it'll, right now you turn it by hand, it'll hit that valve that's hanging down. So we're gonna strip the parts back off of it. Still gonna get it in the car though and get that original powertrain back in. That's what Clay's working on now, is shoehorning this thing into that car, and we're gonna see if the patchwork that we did is enough to hold this, which I'm pretty confident it is. That's it. We're gonna go get the office doors for Shane's container office here. I was thinking we could give them some like kind of. It's gonna be hard to get this test like that.
well, I just want to hold it. Okay, go ahead. That's good.
Want me to go like number half pump?
Yeah.
Everybody, we're all done with the 68 Fastback. So this is a 68 Ford Mustang Fastback. It's a C code, which means it's a 289 2-barrel. This one has a 3-speed transmission. Original motor and transmission are here. The car is super rough, needs a full restoration. May look good, but it is far from good. It needs fenders, it needs quarters, it needs rockers, it needs floors, it needs toe boards, it needs dog legs, it needs front core supports, it needs, you name it underneath. It is rusty and it needs replaced. The entire trunk is gone. The whole tail panel is gone. This car is full restoration candidate, so it's not nearly as expensive as the other Mustangs I've had here were. This one is $19,000, has a good title, but it is super rusty, so it's at the bottom end of that price range. If you're interested, give me a call, 412-335-6100. It's all beefed up in the front, so the motor and transmission are in it. It can be moved like this. We can export it. We can get it into a container. We can get it overseas. We can also deliver in the lower 48 anywhere you want. Get a hold of me. Hey, thanks for watching our video. We really appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have cars like these in your garage, if you have a Fastback Mustang or convertible Impala, a nice original paint pickup truck or an old cab over truck, and you want to sell it, I'd love to try and put a deal together with you. You can get a hold of me at 412-335-6100. We pay excellent prices. We pay finder's fees. You know, it's no secret. We do make a little money on the YouTube videos, so that allows me to pay, you know, sometimes market value or really good prices for these cars. We'd love to come out and drag it out of your barn. We'd love to film it. We'd love for you to be a part of that whole process. So if you have an original paint or an original old Fastback Mustang that needs work, like these ones I have on my trailer, or if you have an old pickup, or again, a convertible Impala, cab over truck, whether it doesn't matter where you are, we buy nationwide here in the United States, all the way as far as California. I've had stuff, New Mexico, Arizona, Oregon, Washington, high desert stuff we love. So, or if you're in the East Coast and it's a rusty Mustang or a rusty convertible Impala, that is fine. We typically don't buy many trucks on the East Coast, but I buy a lot of cars on the East Coast. If you have cab over parts also, especially for these early Fords, I'd be interested in that. It never hurts to send me an email or a text. IronCityGarage@gmail.com. You're welcome to send me an email or a text message, probably the best. You kind of get an instant answer that way. 412-335-6100. I'd love to talk to you. Hope you enjoyed the video, and hopefully we can make a deal on what you guys have on your farms or in your garages.